Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to Teach Crest International. I'm your host, Ruth Kerupo. On today's topic, we are going to discuss about reading culture. Reading is one of the vital language skills, apart from, speaking, writing, as well as listening. So, it is coming to attention that this culture of reading, is becoming almost obsolete, and there's a need to revive it. And why is it important to revive it? It's because reading will not only equip your communication skills, it will also improve your vocabulary, it will improve your global perspective about life. You'll be having a widened idea about the world. In short, you have um, a rich world viewpoint. So you are just not fixed to something, you're open-minded. Again, books can be therapeutic, irrespective of what you're passing. They can help even to pass time. So yeah, it can be a nice hobby. Yeah. Another thing is that books enhance research. And this research could be for personal use, let's say in academics, for career, as well as for personal reasons. There are very many issues or questions that you have, and you'll only get them from books and not elsewhere. It's said that if you got a secret, you hide it in a book. So yeah, books contain most answers to your questions. Like if you have maybe spiritual questions that you've been asking, probably you'll find them in spiritual books like the Bible, the Quran, etc. Yeah. So books are very vital, and that is why we need to fight to revive this reading culture. And as we all know, that culture is a way of life. Yeah. So you can ask me, Kerubo, maybe in high school, I was someone who could maybe read even novels within 2 days. Right now, you cannot even go past a page. What is not happening with me? So don't worry. Sometimes, social media happened, work happened, sometimes parenting happened, especially for mothers. You find like at least the first 6 months of giving birth, yeah, you tend to be preoccupied most of the time with with the baby, the newborn baby. Yeah, so life happens, and sometimes you tend not to have that reading culture. Sometimes you lose interest because your mind, maybe you are used to the romantic plot, after this happens next. So your brain wants something exciting, something challenging, and that's why you need to now change your genre so that it doesn't become a boring task. Yeah. So here are some of the things that I wanted to address. Between audiobooks, soft copies, and physical books, which one is the most preferable? Obviously, we know it's the physical books. One, because of the fact that you can really follow up. There are less distractions with books. Number two, you can even put a bookmark. Yeah, you can highlight, you can summarize at the end, so they become quite engaging, unlike soft copies, which most of them are not even editable. Yeah. Another thing is that they promote IP, yeah, intellectual property rights. So yeah, we get to pay the various authors, and it's a noble way of appreciating the work that they are doing. Unlike, for example, when you find that we have books and people are doing their soft copy piracy. Yeah, so you find that someone is eating from another sweat. Yeah. So that is one of the reasons I would really advocate for the paperbacks. Yeah. Another thing, obviously, because of the sensory appeal. You can feel the texture of the book, the sound, of moving pages, the smell. Especially I love the smell of old books. you can get to view, see the font size, um the colors, how it is. So I think those are some of the reasons why the physical books are more appropriate. However, sometimes you have limited time and audiobooks would be the ideal. No, because you can listen anywhere as you're doing your chores, etc. So you get to download the apps like Audible and listen to your favorite books as you do your stuff. Sorry, my son is crying. Let me attend to him, then I'll come back later. I would prefer the soft copies. Truth be said that books are expensive, especially the physical books. So yeah, someone could opt for the soft copies, and the soft copies are also a bit convenient, because once you have an electronic gadget like your phone, you can be able to read anytime. You just have a reading app, let's say Young Reader, Read Now. You have maybe WPS. All these books are book reading apps. Yeah, the application really make it convenient. You can read anywhere, in the toilet, at work. Yeah, as long as you have the time, despite the distractions that could be there, like notification from Facebook or what. Yeah, soft copies are also convenient for people with limited space. Yeah, because books can be really bulky. So yeah, people prefer to have the soft copies for that reason, because you don't have space. Where do you declutter? So yeah, so irrespective of whether you prefer any of the three, I just believe you just need to be reading something, even if it's a small article, yeah, to enhance that reading culture. Yeah, so when should we read? Anytime that you have. But it's good to be intentional. Sometimes life happens. If you say just anytime and you're not intentional about it, probably you'll not read. So yeah, you have to set time, maybe in the morning, in the evenings. You just need to aim that you should not be reading at your off-peak hours, when your energy is low, unless it's something really exciting like stories. Those ones, they can spark your mind, or you do some little math to rejuvenate, then you can continue with your reading. At what age should people start reading? As early as 6 months. I remember this jacaranda notifications, and they were telling me, you need now to introduce your baby to books. Yeah, even if it means that they're going to cut the books and rarua them. Nataka kuonekana, wasalimie. Yeah, so we are going to record together with him. So yeah, you get to introduce them to books, like you can read along. You read them the bedtime stories. Yeah, it's a good way of in cultivating that reading culture. Another thing that I will say is, where how do you start now to cultivate a reading culture? One, I've talked about intentionality, and this means that you need to be intentional about the time. Yeah, when you want to start reading. So maybe it could be in the morning, at least for 10 to 45 minutes every day, whether you feel like reading or not. Just push yourself. Yeah, another thing is setting up your mind. Most people are like, I cannot read, I don't love reading. As a man thinketh, so it is. So it's good that you have a good attitude towards reading, so that it becomes even automatic for you to read. Another thing is being intentional about the space. Yeah, you need to be in the right mental space to read, to concentrate. You need to have the right physical space to read. Probably it should be a place that is quiet, a place that has even, he has cut my books now, these people. Anyway, maybe it will help him to, he will outgrow someday. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, you need to be intentional even about the space where you're going to be shooting, be reading from. You can even write it as reading area, you know, to create that library vibe. Yeah. Another thing is to be intentional by having an accountability partner, that is a reading partner. Yeah, so that you can be maybe discussing your reading list. What have you read? You get to summarize, so it will somehow keep you on toes. um Another thing is that you need to be intentional about setting a budget for books. Yes, books are expensive, but you need to be intentional. Like, I admire my father. Every August, oh yeah, I'm born into an SDA family, so every August we have camps, and he has a budget for books about 2,500. Yeah, like for LNG White Estates, like we have all the books. You can buy Bible even for others that some we don't even use. So I don't know, but is intentional about books. Like there are these books by Nancy von Pelt, sijui Smart Parent, Smart Adolescents. They're nice books. So they really help. Yeah, so intentionality. The next thing is all about starting small. Yeah, it doesn't make sense like you have not been reading for a while, then you want to read a novel within a day. It's impossible. So you start small. Start maybe a few pages of something interesting, like a poem, a short story. Yeah, something that can keep you intrigued to read more. Then you can continue increasing your pace to even things that are now non-appealing. So you start maybe from fiction to non-fiction kind of journals. Yeah, yeah. So start small and keep it simple. You don't have to have a complex system that you want to be reading these books. Anything that you can find at even if it's the magazines and the newspapers used to cover books, used to wrap, maybe made from your favorite butchery. Start from there. Anything small, even the graffiti on the toilets, on the streets. Start small, keep it simple. Yeah, and keep going. You know, the main idea is just to keep the cycle going. The reading culture, you make it part of your lifestyle. The other thing I wrote is that avoid distractors, especially online. So you'll need to sometimes even be intentional about the circle that you maintain. Sometimes you'll have to reduce your exposure with friends so that you can have more time with books, because books can make you travel to far off places. So yeah, they're a good combination. Unajua kusoma vitabu? Yeah. So yeah. So another thing is that you should have a timeline. Just don't say that I want to read this book. Have a timeline. Maybe after 2 days, by the end of 2 days, I shall be done with this. This helps you to be objective and focused. And the goal here is not necessarily to finish the book, but to enjoy, yeah, the writings, the message, everything, including the book appeal itself. Nakaa mrembo kwa kamera. Ingine is to have alternatives. For example, if you're not able to keep up with the books, you can start with reading maybe blogs, stories, poems. Yeah, these short journals from even people that you look up to. You'll gain some insights even from reading comments. Like for me, I'm a proud comment reading association member. We just read and we get different perspectives about how people view life, and it can also be a source of content, you know, authentic content, because you get to know what humans feel about a certain topic, and from there you can create or customize your own content. So it's really nice. Another thing is to have a backup. The idea is to have access to these books, to maybe the library, so you make it accessible as possible. So for example, you want to be reading, put that book into your handbag, put it near maybe your bedroom, closet, somewhere you can really see it. Put it on somewhere on the table, so that the first thing when you wake up, or as you're taking breakfast, you can see it and read. So stand by, have a backup. Yeah. Another thing is now making reading culture go viral. We all know that a reading nation becomes a leading nation, and it becomes an informed nation. A reading nation becomes a leading nation and an informed nation. So we need to keep that culture going for that reason. Wait. Yeah, so how do we start? One is to enroll such munchkins to a library, reading along with them, yeah, singing those books, yeah. You can get to buy someone a book and give to them. You can join a book club, yeah. So once you've joined a book club, you can have maybe a monthly reading subscription. You get to swap books. Another thing is to partner with maybe the national library authorities, so that you can set up community libraries, have also a home library. Be intentional about it. Be lending books to people you trust, so that there are people who you I don't know, they don't take care of books, so you find them having earmarks. They don't maintain them. So that, I don't think those are the right people to lend books to. So you lend books to people who are responsible, people who can even cover them up, they can substitute for you, they are responsible to the end. Also, another thing, when you feel like that, it's reading starts to become now a task instead of a enjoyable activity. You can start by rejuvenating that reading culture by reading the blurбs uko mbele. You can get to read the reviews, so that you get an overview of the whole book, what it's saying about, and you can get intrigued to start reading it. Yeah. You can also get to join book fairs whenever they are held, maybe at a read center. You get to interact with like-minded people. Here is where you can actually find your accountability partners. Yeah. I also said that you should change your genre. Maybe your brain has been used to how the plot goes on, so try to change your genre, so that you can be an all-round person. You don't have to be maybe reading only spiritual. Sorry for that. Hey, today I've had a hard time shooting. I don't know whether I will be even given a copyright strike, but anyway, yeah. So you need to share insights, get to summarize what you have read, so that you don't forget. Otherwise, those were my few remarks about cultivating a reading culture. And this nywele is giving. Yeah, I like it natural. Yeah. So make it easy and simple. Start small, have a stimulating environment, and finally, influence. Have an influential circle. Yeah. Until next time, I've been your host, Ruth Kerubo. Bye. Bye. See you.